What's going on, everybody? All right, now if you follow me on Instagram, I showed a Glock case and said I picked up something new. And I'm going to do a little quick review of that. And as soon as I find somewhere close by that I can actually start shooting, I'll probably actually do some shooting videos. Even though ammo is a little bit scarce, I've got a little bit of it, and I can afford to use a little. So what I picked up was this Glock 42, and it's a 380 caliber. Now, why did I pick this up? Actually, my stepdad and mom just moved down here. I've mentioned that in other videos, and he actually gave me a lot of 380 ammo. He didn't have a 380 anymore, and he's like, I'm gonna give this away. And I was like, you know what? For that much ammo, it's worth buying a 380 for. And I've been kind of curious about the Glock 42. Back whenever I bought my last few 380s, I didn't have any 380s either at the time. I'd sold them all. But at the time that I bought the 380s I'd owned, there was a Car P380, and I had a Ruger LCP, I think it was. But they didn't have this gun out at the time that I bought mine. And I'm a huge Glock fan, so I decided to pick up a Glock 42, like I said, in 380. Glock has always been really reliable. I've always liked Glock handguns, and I really feel like this is probably going to be the same thing. And the cool part is, it points really well for me. It has like a really, really narrow grip. We'll go over some of the specs here in a little bit, but it actually feels pretty good in my hands, and just coming straight out, it's very pointable, and the cool thing is it's small enough that it fits in your pocket, but it's large enough that it doesn't feel like it's some kind of micro gun. Like the LCP is so thin, and the Car P380 is so thin. Those guns just seem so small and fragile. Now, I'm not knocking those guns because I never had any issue. Well, I didn't have any issue with the Ruger. It took me almost 500 or 600 rounds to get the car broke in to where it quit having malfunctions. If you don't know, if you read like car's owner manual, they tell you just put like 200 rounds through them to break it in. My 380, and I've actually seen other videos where people said the same thing, it took 500 or 600 rounds to get this little gun broke in to where it quit having malfunctions. Now, when that happened, I never had another malfunction. But for the first 500 or 600 rounds, I was having several a day. Not every single magazine, but maybe every 2 or 3 magazines, it would introduce a malfunction. So it took quite a bit to get it broke in. I suspect that this will not have those same issues. Now, one thing that I don't like is this thing is a 6-rounder. This is a lot bigger gun than those are, and those are also 6-rounders. And if memory serves me correctly, the Car even come with like an extended magazine that held like 7 or 8 rounds. I'm thinking it was an 8-rounder. And this one does not. It only comes with 6-round magazines. You have to buy extended base plates. I'll probably buy like a Terran Tactical or something like that for my spare magazine. It does come with 2 magazines, but I'll probably buy, like I said, like a Terran Tactical or some other brand of base plate to change out my spare magazine. Now, in my carry guns, whenever I carry these, like I said, I'm going to carry this in my pocket. I don't want like 2 extra rounds sticking out. I want the smallest, setup I can get. And then I'll carry an extended magazine for a backup. And that is with any firearm I carry, I always try to get it the smallest compact version of that firearm that I can get, so that it conceals as good as possible. And then my backup magazine is an extended magazine, or if I'm carrying like a Glock 19, sometimes I carry like a Glock 17 magazine or something like that. But like I said, when the firearm is on me and I'm carrying it, it's the smallest version of it that I can get, and that's the way I will do this. With the magazine in this, it's very minimal. But if you had like a double stack, it might not fit in like basketball shorts or sweatpants or something like that. Even now, as long as this gun is, the handle still kind of shows a little bit. If you was looking towards my pocket, you might be able to see the butt of this gun in my pocket. Now, I've not had a problem with it falling out or anything like that, but you still might be able to just see the back end of it just a little bit. And if you was a gun guy, you'd know I had this on me. Now, the way I carry this right now is in this little Black Hawk pocket holster. This is cheap. This is a cheap pocket holster. I do have a buddy that makes holsters. He's called A Holster. I love his pocket holsters. I've had a few of his other holsters. I still like Tungsten Tactical holsters a little bit better for some of the other holsters, like the appendix holsters and stuff. But for pocket holsters, he makes a really good pocket holster. And as soon as I get that in, I will do a review of that. I'll probably order that tonight for this. But they're Kydex, and they have a little loop on the side that grabs your pocket. So if you need to draw it out of your pocket, it actually grabs your pocket instead of the holster coming out with it. They kind of form around your leg, and they're very minimal. This right here, and it has retention, where this does not have retention. The old gun would have to fall out of your pocket with the holster. With his, the gun can actually just, slide out of this. I mean, this is slick on the inside. So, but this works for the time being. If you're going to carry a pistol in your pocket, always have something that covers the trigger guard, especially if it's a Glock. There have been people in the world carry Glocks in their pocket without a pocket holster, reach in to get their keys. You should never do that. Reach in to get their keys, and their keys be through the trigger guard. And I'll show you, this gun is unloaded. And as they pull their keys out, boom, right through the leg. So, or foot or knee or whatever it may be. So always either not carry your keys in your pocket with your gun, which is a good practice. And also, always make sure your trigger guard is covered. And that's why I've got this thing out here right now, is because it covers the trigger guard and serves the purpose until I get the holster that I want in. But enough rambling on about some of the stuff you should and shouldn't do, which is very important. Not necessarily rambling, but it's important. Let's go over some of the specs. So like I said, this is a 380. It does have a 6-round magazine, comes with 2 of these. The barrel length is 3 1/4 inches, so, pretty small barrel length overall. Weight is 13.76 ounces without a magazine and 15.87 ounces with a magazine. So this gun is very light and makes a perfect pocket carry gun, in my opinion, because it's so light. And 380 ammo is extremely light within itself, so with this thing fully loaded, you don't even know it's there. I mean, it just hides away and you don't even know it's there. One thing I do want to say, it does come with those crappy Glock plastic sights, and I will be getting rid of these and putting on probably Ameriglow Spartans is sights I really like for my Glocks. And these do take the same sights, from what I've seen online, as the Glock 43. So this should be very readily available, and I think a set of those sights are like $90. And I have a push tool and stuff like that, a Glock tool that I bought an adapter for that I can push these rear sights on. But if you don't, some people knock them in with punches and stuff like that. But a push tool doesn't mar up your gun or sights, and it makes the life a whole lot easier. All right, so the overall length is 5.94 inches, so almost 6 inches. The width is 0.98 inches, so almost an inch thick, and the height is 4.13 inches. Now, this gun is made in Smyrna, Georgia. And if memory serves me correctly, the reason that Glock never had or didn't have a 380 in the United States for a long period of time, there was something to do with they couldn't import them because they weren't made in the U.S. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but it seems like there was something about that. So when they opened the plant in Smyrna, Georgia, and actually started producing firearms, they can produce a 380 in the U.S. and now sell a 380 in the U.S. And if like I said, if memory serves me correctly, I think that's right. I think that's when they actually introduced the 380 into the U.S. market. And Glock's always been a little late on things, in my opinion, but I guess that's not their fault if they weren't producing them here and there were laws saying they couldn't sell them here if they weren't produced. But, like they brought out that 22 long rifle version a year ago or whenever that was. I've never bought one. Never really been interested in one, to tell you the truth about it. But they brought that out like a year or so ago, and if they were going to do that, they should have brought that out several years ago, because Smith & Wesson and Ruger and all these popular firearm companies brought out 22 versions of their popular pistols a long time ago. So Glock should have did the same thing, in my opinion. But this is what I picked up the other day. I can't wait to put several rounds through it. I have no doubt in my mind that this thing won't be 100% accurate. It will not take anywhere near the time to break in, if it even needs time to break in, as the car was, because that took crazy amounts of ammo, and 380 isn't cheap. But this will be my new pocket gun. And the reason I wanted one of these really was that way if I'm sitting outside or taking a dog out or just walking around, didn't want some big bulky firearm on me, I can carry this in my pocket and it just melts away and I don't even know it's there. Again, whenever I find somewhere to actually go shoot closer by or something like that, or I just get time enough to go to North Carolina, I'll do a full shooting review of this and tell you how it functions and stuff like that. But as for now, that's what I bought. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I appreciate you watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.